Well, I finally rolled up to Cinemark to see Michael. I'm excited about it. I was very excited about it when it came out. Obviously, a huge fan of Michael Jackson. Grew up listening to Michael Jackson. Just one of the best entertainers of our lifetime. We will never get anybody like him again. There are people that have come maybe close. I would say Prince is on the Michael level, and he is another one of my favorites, but it's different. He's different than Michael. What Michael did during the time from when he was little all the way to when he died was unreal. There's a lot of controversy, we know, and there's a lot of other things surrounding his family, about this film, that they love it. There's been rumors that Janet hates it. Doesn't matter to me. I want to see it for myself and what it is. I feel like I'm about to do a lot of content, and I know I'm late to the game on this, but I want to talk about it. So first, though, I got to get in there and see the movie. Just got back from seeing Michael. I didn't get the Michael hat bucket, popcorn bucket. It was sold out. I knew it would be. But I did get this. A little nice Mandalorian Grogu bucket. I'll take it. That being said, let's talk about the film. Hopefully there's no spoilers ahead, but there might be if you see them. I'm going to really try not to, because there's a lot to dive in, and I'll probably do more about this. First and foremost, Jafar Jackson was possessed by Michael Jackson. He turned in him. There was a moment in that film when I stopped and I said, is this footage of Michael? And I know they did mix in some live footage from some concerts and all that, and the awards and all that. But there was a moment there, and if you see the film, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. As he's walking, getting ready to go on stage, and he looks at the camera. And this isn't just a impression. This is Michael Jackson. Jafar Jackson did a phenomenal job. Matter of fact, everybody in that film did a great job. Absolutely unreal what they did in that film as far as the casting goes. Music, it took you back and it made you remember those songs and where you were when they came out or when you heard them for the first time. I was born in 1978. I grew up on Michael Jackson. I remember all that. Absolutely enjoyed all 2 hours and 7 minutes. Now, this is not a film that really spent a lot of time on some of the controversies. And I'm not talking about the later stuff. I'm talking about when he left the Jackson 5, which wasn't really a controversy as much as it was just a surprise moment. And if anything, it was a defining moment for Michael. That was very important to him. And they talked about that in the film. But I'm talking about even the accident with Pepsi. They definitely got into that, but they didn't really dive into how long it took him to come back from that. And I guess, that's not really something they wanted to spend time on. What I did enjoy was the music making process, because Michael was a genius. What his vision was, when he said he saw it, he pictured it, he knew exactly what he wanted. And when they dove into those moments from him and Quincy, which I wish they would have spent more time on, to how he came up with Thriller, they should have spent more time on that. Although it was impressive, and they definitely dived into that thought process throughout his career. That was one of the most interesting things and most exciting things about Michael, was to see that. I mean, I could listen to him talk forever about the music and the beats and what he wanted and his look. It did touch base on how insecure he was about what he had, about his condition, his skin color, and about his nose. They touched base on that very little, and although they showed him getting the surgery and maybe two, they didn't really dive into it a lot, which I thought was what made Michael Jackson. Not his insecurities, but that was what was part of how he came up with the songs and the music. And so I almost wish they would have dived into that a little bit more. I know some people are saying, hey, this is for the fans, but yeah, of course it is. But this is also about the man. This is about his childhood. And honestly, if he had not come out of Joe Jackson's thumb, we would never get Michael at all. And the problems that he had all stem back to growing up and not really growing up. While everybody else got to experience a childhood, he did not. And I think the film does a really good job showing that. I have to come down off my high of reliving those moments and the music and the image and all that, because I really want to look at it as a biopic. And a lot of biopics don't really do a great job. They have an impression or some moments, but I thought this film overall, yeah, I might have played it safe. There were things they couldn't discuss. There was key figures missing, and we'll talk about that later. But overall, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was good. It was also a pretty packed theater for a Tuesday night. I'm looking forward to see where they go with the next one. As it said, his story continues, and we know that that's coming. I'm curious to see where they go and what direction they go in.